And today is the day we decided to go camping.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the channel. It's been a little while since we've done any filming, probably about a month or so, 5 weeks. We've been in lockdown again in England, as you probably know, and we're now in tier 2. This is the 4th of December 2020 and I'm out on the drive here with Bertie and Ethel, our motorhome, and our little white car, the Skoda Citigo. We're preparing to go for a short trip. It's only about an hour and a half to 2 hours up the road into our neighbouring county of Norfolk, which is also in tier 2 of the COVID restrictions, and we are allowed to do that. We're following the rules rigorously of 8 pages that I printed off to try and understand what we can and can't do and whether it's safe to do so, and weighing up the risks. So we've been round that circle and back again and found out that you can do this but you can't do this, and you can do this but you can't do this. So we're off, and that's enough said about all of that. It's thawing out a little from first thing this morning. As you see in the trees there's still some snow on the grass just across the road and on our roof as well of the house, and of the motorhome, I have to say. It's not easy camping in winter. Don't pretend it to be easy, but that's what it's all about. It's not easy in summer particularly, but there are 1 or 2 extra challenges when you're facing weather conditions. Now it's probably about 4 degrees out here, and there's a little bit of a breeze but nothing much, so weather-wise we're okay. The roads are clear but wet, and I have prepared the van a day or 2 beforehand. We got it out of its sleeping position and gave it a little wash. We've wiped round inside. We've made sure that the tanks are all primed, ready to go. So we've got a full tank of fresh water, and the toilet is ready to use, and all of the other things. So the water heating and the central heating. I tried the heating out the other day. The only thing I'm not absolutely sure about is how much propane gas we've got. I know that we've got 1 full 6 kilogram bottle, but I think the 13 kilogram, the large bottle, is probably about 50%, 40% possibly left in that. So we've got enough to be getting on with. We are on a hookup on our first site, so they're the major things, aren't they? Also check the tyres. The tyre pressures, I've got 70 in the back, 65 in the front. I don't want them too hard, but I'm sticking with the same as they all year round. Some people say that you should soften them a little bit in the wet weather when you're on soft ground, but can't be bothered with all that. So I've put them to the normal, and we're just loading the last things into the motorhome, and she's looking pretty good, I have to say. Here comes Sue, just putting some rubbish out, and let's get some other bits and pieces and we'll be on the road.
Well, those of you with a sharp eye will notice it's 2 degrees outside. It's 11:53 on Friday the 4th of November, and we've done what, just over 17,000 miles on our in our motorhome, and we've had it for 3.5 years. So I've got our iPad and our navigation system all set up, and we're ready, almost ready to go now. I've left the van ready, running here for about 10 minutes. The engine's warming up a bit. It's bringing some warm air into the van. I've also had the Aldi heating on. Left it on about 10 degrees just on the driveway here. We have got the frost protection pads on the tanks, which also prevent frost, but I didn't put those on. Switched those off. We're tucked in the driveway here. It's fairly sheltered, so the Aldi heating just kept the van from freezing, and kept it fairly dry, really. It kept the damp off. The only thing was we didn't have the silver screen around the front of the van, so the front windows this morning were a little bit a bit of condensation on there, which I've just wiped off with a microfiber cloth, and things are drying out there nicely. So Sue's just getting one or two more things that we think we're going to take. There's a scarf and a few other bits and pieces that we're going to take with us to keep ourselves warm. And I'm now going to pull the van forward and attach the little car to the back so that we can go out and do a little bit of exploring without taking the van out. Well, Ethel's attached to the back of the motorhome. Motorhome's getting nice and cosy and warm in there now. We're back attached on there. I've changed the number plate. So we've got a board on the back here with these triangles. That's the important thing. The car is now a trailer. I'm going to lock that car, and here's the hitch. For those that you haven't seen this before, I will do another updated version of my video in the spring, but basically attached at the two points, the A-frame folds up and these parts here collapse, so it goes into a small sports bag, and this here is to pull the brakes on, and this does all the lights and the signal for the brakes. Brakes are pneumatic, so the car is independently braked and acts as a trailer as far as the law is concerned. So here we are, almost ready to go. Snow has pretty much melted off everywhere now, but we're still only 2 degrees according to the thermometer on the dashboard. But, so we're all fit and ready to ride. Well, as we head up over the Orwell Bridge and round the A14, as you noticed just now, I hadn't got very much fuel, just over a quarter of a tank. So we've dropped off to the local Asda, and don't forget we've got the car on the back here. We're running at 4 times speed on the video. We're going to pull in here, pick up some fuel, and make our way through the little tunnel there, pay for it, and out we go again. But these petrol stations do get quite busy, and we have been caught out once before here where they're refilling their tanks, so we've had to wait in a long queue. But okay this time. So we're heading out now back onto the A14 towards Bury St Edmunds, and then we come off the A14 at Bury and head towards Thetford, which is on the Norfolk-Suffolk border, and then up to Sandringham. And here we are heading back now onto the A14 under the pylons. And join the main road there. Now at this point we're you notice that it's started to sleet and snow, and this is the Hardwick roundabout at King's Lynn. It used to be a dreadful junction here. They have over the years modified it into a huge roundabout. You do just have to make sure that you get in the right lane and exit at the right point, otherwise you can end up going in totally the wrong direction. Unfortunately, with Sue's help, I managed to pick the right lane there, and we filter into the traffic quite nicely. Now we're on the final approach here to Sandringham. As you can see, the slush and snow is building up a bit on the road, and we're preparing to look for a right turn which takes you to the lane and the approach to the main Sandringham Caravan and Motorhome Club site. And here we are, here's the right turn, and the site is just on the left hand side. Well, we've arrived at Sandringham and we're in the queue. There's two twin axle caravans in front of us, and you probably saw on the dash cam that the weather's taken a little bit of a turn for the worse, and it's a bit snowy. Nah. Well, we're British.
It's like a winter wonderland.
Yeah, it's pretty in the trees.
We got about 5 miles away, weren't it?
Yeah, 5-10 miles.
The conditions weren't quite so good to drive in. It's all slushy underneath.
Yeah, the roads have been a bit slushy in the last sort of 5 miles, but we could see that the gentle rain was turning to snow, and we're just waiting to get checked in. We're back in the van now. The barrier has been lifted for us. We've paid. They only allow one in the office at a time, in the reception at a time, and you settle up and then you can jump back in your van and drive around the site and pick your own pitch. Great thing about the Caravan and Motorhome Club is that they don't allocate a pitch to you, you can choose your own. Now you can see that the snow is making it a little difficult for us to see exactly where the pitches are, but we look for a white stick in the ground with a number on it, showing that we have a standard pitch with electric hookup. You see quite a few caravans and motorhomes scattered about the site here. We're just approaching a toilet block on the right there. We'll do a site walk around a little later. But, you see some trees, and so the whole site is surrounded by trees on the Sandringham estate here, and the trees on the park as well, on the caravan site as well. It was very quiet down this end, so we quite like the look of it, although the snow seemed to have piled up fairly down here. There's a good inch on the grass, I would imagine, so we just hesitated a couple of times to see which one we'd like to go on. Well, just driven around the site and chosen our pitch. Let's get out in the snow. So we've got to detach the car now then, and we're going to go on this pitch here. Well, it's very pretty, isn't it? Very nice. Alright, let's get stuck in. I'm now going out in the rain, as it hasn't stopped raining. At least it's stopped snowing, but I'm going to go out and put the silver screen on the front here, stop this from steaming up.